So Big Sister decided to live with me, the kid, instead of getting a sugar daddy. But she needed a job so she could help pay the bills. The money wouldn't last forever. So, thanks to Perry Mason, she got a job working for the mob at a collection agency. She had a list of business people, businessmen, who would have money owed to them. She would give them a call in the mornings, and then in the afternoon she would come to see them, all dolled up and sweet, using various techniques to get them to sign on the dotted line to agree to have the collection agency collect the debt for a percentage, and she would work on a commission, a percentage of that. Every morning, early, I would watch her do a reverse striptease. Oh, that was sexy. Going from Big Sister to a very beautiful, sophisticated, elegant woman with skirt and stockings and high-heel shoes. And I, laying naked in bed, would watch every morning, and she would do the routine every single time. And then she would look at me and do this. That meant, don't be afraid, it's still me. She'd step out the door every single day, poke her head back the same way every time, and say, don't forget to give the kids their lunches. And she'd go off to work. And twice a week, roughly twice a week, she would sneak back home around 11:30. I'd still be in bed. I didn't work till 2 p.m. Take off all that lovely clothing, and we'd have a quickie. Ah, it was a good life. I was lifeguarding from 2 to 10 most days, and so I wouldn't have to get up for a while after that. She'd go back to work, and of course she'd have to get all dressed up again, but she wouldn't put on a second reverse striptease for me. I didn't need one then. Life was good. She worked at the collection agency for a few months, and then she said, we're going to have a party. And I said, a party? And she said, yes, a party. All the office will be there. Well, not all of them showed up, but a bunch of them did. The office manager and his wife, in about their 30s, showed up. And then someone higher up, assistant manager or whatever, and his girlfriend. One of the dolls that worked with... Damn it! I'll get that out of there. One of the dolls that worked with Big Sister was there with her boyfriend. And then there were two of the dolls named Annie and Lisette. Now, each of these came to the party at separate times as couples. And when I saw Annie and Lisette, I thought, I wonder if they are a couple. They look nice together. They look nice. Anyway, fairly early on, I started to feel a little uncomfortable because there was a lot of attention being paid to me by the women at the party. Now, I know what I am, and I was getting way more attention than I deserved, so I knew something was up, but I didn't know what it was. And it just felt a little uncomfortable. But anyway, so we talked about stuff, and Big Sister had told me certain things not to talk about, especially because she told me certain things I think she probably shouldn't have told me. But I was good about that. But anyway, at some point in the party, Annie and Lisette kind of corner me. And they're saying, oh, you were a lifeguard. Have you ever saved somebody? Go, yeah, I saved somebody. I got a kid out of the pool by the hair or whatever. And this and that. And how long have you been a lifeguard? And blah, blah, blah. And they're touching me. They're touching me. You know the way they kind of talk in the middle of the talk? There's this thing. And I go, uh-oh. And I said, well, there's Big Sister. She's pretty smart. She knows what's going on. She's got no problem here. I said, something's weird going on here. Anyway, so like we were talking for a while and whatever, and then I'm going elsewhere in the party to talk to somebody else, have a drink, whatever. Big Sister's a really good cook. She made a whole bunch of cool stuff. I ate some of that, and then she was talking with the dolls, Lisette and Annie, and then she came over to me and she said, Lisette and Annie want to sleep with you, and the first thing I said was, together? And Big Sister said she was good with dialogue. One moment, please. And she kind of casually went over to them, and they kind of were talking and giggling, and she came back and she said, no, they'd like separate appointments. Now, I kind of thought it was a joke, but it was sort of kind of weird because something was going on, and I know that Big Sister wasn't going to tell me what it was, so I didn't even bother asking. But I was already having suspicions. So a week later, around 10:30, I'm like asleep in bed. There's a knock on the door, and Annie is right there. And she says, is Big Sister here? And I go, no. And she goes, oh, good, because I want to talk to you. And she just walks right in. Like, she is extremely forward. And she says, why did you turn down my offer? And I said, well, I thought it was a joke. She says, no, Big Sister told me that, like, you did, like, so-and-so just down the block, and she loved it, and she told me that, like, and Lisette and that other doll, that we should try you. And I just didn't know, that's what happened. I just didn't know what to say. And so I just didn't say anything for a moment there. And I said, okay. And I said, well, I need to talk with Big Sister about this, which is what I did. Anyway, Annie, though, didn't want to stop. She was very forward, and she touched me again, but like a lot more. And I had to like, I had to tell her to go. Because I really, I was madly in love with Big Sister, and I wasn't interested. Not for any moral reason or anything like that. I really wasn't interested, and I was shocked. But the thing is that before I told her to go, she told me a few other things. And they were like, what had happened is that Big Sister had been talking, not to inflate me, but to inflate herself. Not to make me look good, but to make her look like hot shit, that she's got this hot young stud that can screw all the time. Now, that was true. But she also said that I could stay hard for days at a time, according to what Annie told me that Big Sister had said. And, of course, that was an exaggeration. Small exaggeration. She also said that I could pop off and pop right back up again. That was true. She also said that I had mastered a certain skill under her tutelage, which is just around the pelvic region, to an exceptional degree. She also said that my cock was the size of a commercial jet aircraft and that we had to bust out the back wall of the bedroom. This was an exaggeration. We simply moved the waterbed a few feet back from the back wall. Well, anyway, I got Annie out the door, and when I saw Big Sister that night, I said, what did you do all this? You didn't tell me. You told them all these things. I mean, what's going on? I can't believe it. What? I just got what? And she just looked at me calmly, gave me a little push, a wink, and a smile, and said, what are you complaining about? She also said that I could stay hard. I said that one already. Shut up and go to the next one. Okay, I will.